Okay, so let's go on about making the assembly right now. What I'm going to do is we're going to go up, click New. We're going to put the parts together for this, and we're going to start by doing standard inch IAM and click Create. All right, so it creates a blank page. I'm going to go in here and click Place right off the bat, and I'm going to place, let's say I'm going to start with the drawer because that's the bottom piece, and I'll place the drawer in here and click that in place and right click and OK. So now that's there, I'll right click with the mouse on this and click grounded. So now I can't move this. This part's stuck there, which is exactly what we want. I'll click place next, and I'm going to place the box in on top of that. Click open, and I'll click that right there and just kind of put it in place. Just kind of put it in a general area there. Now I can move this wherever I want by holding down the left mouse button and moving it, but now I want to start constraining it. So I click constraint, and I'm going to use the, if you see, these are the two kinds of mates we're going to use here when we do the mate option, and I'm going to click the two that touch each other face to face. So I'll click this face right here, and I'm going to zoom in close so I can get that face right there. I don't want to get any corners or edges, and I'll flip around to the other side here, and I'm going to click this face and click that face right there and click apply. So now those two are touching one another. All right, now you'll see here, I'm just going to overdo this a little bit. You'll see it looks like I can move it all over the place, but I really can't because we've made those two faces touch one another. They always touch no matter what. So I can try moving wherever I want. So it'll go up and down, but those two faces right there and there are always going to touch one another. All right, so that being the case, we're going to go in here, and we might click on, say, joint, or no, click on constraint, and click the two here that they're flush. So I want the two sides, this face and this face, to be flush with one another. And click apply. Now when I try to move this, right, I can move it back and forth, but I can't move it all over the place because if I click on the end here, you'll see, and I try to move it, it doesn't move at all. But if I click to the side view here, I can move it back and forth all over the place. So those two things, so the sides there are stuck together and that other face is stuck together. So that's good enough for now, so I can place this like that, right? I might even say I like where that one's at, right click on it and click grounded so it'll stay there. And now we're building an exploded assembly. So I'll click place, and I'm going to place the lid, and I'll click lid and put the lid in here, and I'm going to generally put it in that place right there. And that looks good. So I'll click constrain, and I'm going to constrain the same way I did before. I'll click this face right here, zoom into there, switch around to the other side, come right here, go onto that face right there, click apply, and I'm going to do the flush, click this side and that face right there so they're stuck together. So now I can kind of move that out a little bit more, and that looks how we want it to look. So at this point, I'm ready to click save. So I'll save this, and I'm saving that as the assembly. And I can click it as assembly 3 is fine. I'll just overwrite the one that's there. So I don't know what it is, but that'll be good. Okay, so that's assembly 3. Now, then we're going to go and create a drawing. So we'll click new, click ANSI inch IDW, click create, and we're going to put this in here. Click a base view, put a base view in. I'm going to just turn it to isometric right away and change the scale. Oh, this scale is just way too big. I don't want the page to be D size, so I'll right click on this, edit the sheet. What happens if we change it to B? B's about that big, and click base view and turn this way. So that's quarter scale. Let's change it up to a half. What happens if we go to full scale? Is it just going to be too big? It actually fills up the whole page, but we're going to need space for the title block for parts list. So we'll do half scale there and move this somewhere right about here. And then click OK. So it's going to draw that out. Go to annotate. And we should be able to then click parts list. It's going to ask us to select a view. So we select that view right there and want it to be structured just like this. And do we wish to enable the BOM view? And that is yes. So I'm going to put that right here and then maybe drag this out. Drag that out to there. All right. So before I go too far, I want to change the names because this didn't seem to work out this way. So I'm going to change this to drawer. So I want all the cap locks on. So and this one will be the box. Oops. Cap lock on, box. And this one will be the lid. So I'll go in here and change this so it's just the part number. And this one is just the part number. And this one is just the part number, and that part number is actually incorrect. So I'll change that to 2, and then we're good. So the quantity is 1 of each. This is item 1, 2, and 3. That'll become significant here in just a second. So then we'll go in here and click balloon, And when I click balloon, this tells us that this is right click, create, that's part 3. Right click and create, this is part 2. Right click and place it there, and that's part 1. So this is an exploded assembly drawing, tells us how to put everything together. Alright, and then the last thing we'll do is we'll go to iProperties, click this, click the title, and the title of this is going to be Pencil Box Assembly. Pencil Box Assembly. Oops, I misspelled that. Pencil Box Assembly. iStem Foundations. Oops. Foundations. We're not going to have to change anything in here, but we will put in here that this is 102-1-001. And we shouldn't really need this Pencil Box Assembly. We'll put it there just in case we ever have to use it again. And that's okay. We'll go from there and click close. So this is a finished drawing of what we wanted it to look like. All right, so I'll make sure that I save this, and we'll call this one 102-1-001 Pencil Box Assembly. All right, click save. So now we've saved it, saving all the parts that go into it the way they are, and that's the end of the video.